Alright, so this is going to be pretty cut and dry. I'm going to be addressing a response that Brett made to AtheistJr. Regarding a debate. And it's not really going to be a debate, it's Brett going to be not listening or paying attention or making any kind of arguments whatsoever. It's going to be him straw-manning the entire time, as we're going to see in this video. And but I'm going to address a few things to Brett before we continue, because I know he has me blocked, so I'm going to have to put this to somebody else, and then hopefully they'll send it to him. But either way. So, first thing I want to address is that Brett, back in 2024, on July 25th, here's the tweet, and before you might want to go see it before he deletes it. It says that I will debate you live on my show. Bring a camera and microphone. I've destroyed over 1,000 atheists in debate, which again he's conflating to internet arguments that go nowhere. He doesn't understand the actual concept of a structured, regimented debate with an unbiased moderator that isn't his friend or somebody who's going to give him leeway to do or say whatever he wants, or to rage quit, or to boot people out who when he starts getting caught in corners after he bull baits them and gets treated like the scumbag that he is, right? So he says, you can prove you evolved from fish and rats, and I will defend intelligent design. Will you be a coward like most non-believers and run? No, nobody's going to prove that you have quote-unquote evolved from fish and rats, because that's a straw man on an evolutionary argument, right? That has nothing to do with the idea of evolution, and it's completely and categorically false, okay? Second thing I want to bring up is that I actually challenged Brett to a debate, which I will say I'm very grateful to ProverbsGuys to bringing this to his attention. He added him in this comment section here. The initial comment that I posted was that it was a fun little challenge that Brett can debate somebody one-on-one with that I knew that he would shirk away from, right, because I know he's a coward, that it would be about morality in the Bible. Now, I kind of reneged and I said, you know what, tell you what, yeah, I'm going to do it as long as we were on a neutral channel, like Modern Day Debate or a third-party channel, whoever would host us, right? And I kind of go into my details here, and so I'm going to make a point real quick. I'm not going to read the entire thing, but you can read it for yourself. This section right here is exactly what he does to AtheistJr. In this video, and I knew he would do it to me too, so that's why I put it in here. Now, AtheistJr. put out his challenge, I think before or after. No, he put it out after me, and this was a couple of days ago. So this was on May 12th, I believe, and I said either way, I'm fine with or without it. But the clearly defined challenge and its very fair terms have been made. Other than that, he's going to shy away and make excuses as to not do it, or just go straight into personal attacks about what surface level information he can glance about me or other atheists in general, and then apply them to me and say, look, all atheists are like this, and then claim somehow he won without doing anything. Again, that's not what I'm here for, nor is it a victory on his end for not accepting it. If Brett wants to claim that he's a well-known speaker, which he puffs himself up to be on his channel, right, and been in 1,000 debates, which, again, like I just showed you, right, or anything other than a simple yes or no, right, then this really shouldn't be an issue for him. It shouldn't be an issue at all for him. Like, a mere video, and this is the most important part, a mere video going through this comment and talking bullshit about it. Now, I'm not, this wasn't directed towards ProverbsGuys, this is directed to Brett. I said, I'm not saying you would, but he might, and he did to AtheistJr. just like I knew he would, or anything other than a simple yes or no, laying out a half-baked response to the debate topic, which this video is, that I'm about to show you here. Oh, where'd it go? Right? Laying out a half-baked response to the debate topic is not a victory, nor is it a means of addressing whether or not he wants to do it. So, to his credit, in this video, he does accept it from the get-go. He accepted that other person's challenge like straight out the gate. However, he goes into it as attempt to poison the well and to straw man it from the very beginning before the debate's even had, so he can claim, oh, I don't know what the point of it is, but whatever, we can debate it and blah blah blah. So this is a guy who says he loves debates, and yet if we recall some odd years ago, he calls this a debate, and so did they. these people I'm going to bring up in a second here. 2015 or 2016, if I recall correctly. It was called Religion Debate 1 and 2 by the Drunken Peasants. And in those debates, they called him in. They called Brett in. This guy. They called God TV Radio into the room. And guess what? He had to bring 2 or 3 other people with him. The first debate, he brought in, who was it? It was True Empiricism. And then he brought in G-Man. I love G-Man, by the way. He's a funny guy. And he didn't talk at all. And when he did talk, he brought up BS drama, right? And he didn't argue anything. If you go watch those recordings, which are about 2 hours each, he didn't say anything or do anything of substance. He had other people talk for him, and he just kind of sat in the background and facilitated everything while they all actually debated amongst one another. So the second debate, he brought in Nephilim Free, I believe his name was, and him and Paul and Scotty had an argument about abortion and a bunch of other topics. And again, Brett didn't say anything at all. He didn't do anything. He didn't bring up any topics of discussion. He didn't bring up any arguments or anything regarding it. He just sat there and recorded, and he was just a sit-in. All because he didn't have the spine to actually stand up for what he believed in. That being said, let's go through this real quick. I'm gonna skip. Where is it? There we go. Okay, so right off the bat, we have Brett hiding his face first and foremost. He wants to talk about how people that don't have balls who don't show their face, right? And then he takes this guy, and then he takes this guy here, and he inflates his face, right, to make him look fatter than what he is. If you go over to Atheist Jr.'s channel, he's not actually that fat. He's got a little pudge on him, maybe. Got a little pudge on him, but he's not this big. This guy expanded the photo. So Brett, this is not Brett, by the way. This is nowhere near any accurate representation of Brett. He is a 300-pound plus guy sitting in a mattress somewhere, sitting there, and he, you can hear it when he talks. His blubber neck is like, sloshing around on his jowls. And so when he opens his mouth to speak, you can kind of hear the fat just kind of bouncing around in his mouth. And he, you know what I mean? So for this guy to come on here and do this kind of bullshittery is laughably contemptible.
You'll see my entire album. You can listen to your machine that you have and release a new book on your machine that you have and enjoy it. Be a CD or...
Nobody buys CDs anymore. Well, maybe they do, but they don't have CD players. It's mostly digital now.
Or you can get digital downloads to put on your iPod or whatever kind of little...
Nobody has iPods anymore. Nobody has actual, nobody has separate MP3 players for their, music anymore. It's all digital now on apps on their phone, which can also hold MP3s. So this guy is just anachronistic. He thinks we're all living back in 2010.
Tablet or machine that you have and enjoy it. Oh yeah, make sure you tell your buddies about it. Also, I've released a new book, obviously, along with the CD.
You didn't release a CD. You released all of those videos of your quote-unquote your quote-unquote AI album, right? It's all on your channel. Nobody needs to go buy your CD.
And those...
Oh, and by the way, your book's probably just as shitty as the other ones that you put out as well.
Those who buy a limited version of the CD right now will get a free book along with it, but it's the PD.
That's how bad it is that you have to zip tie it to your music. I mean, nobody's buying your music to begin with, but I mean, hey, whatever, man.
PDF version, basically a digital ebook if you're interested. Yes. And there's a lot of other music that you...
All right, we're going
to... in my work. Okay.
Yeah, here's the thing. You don't work. Your music is all AI. All you did was plug your music in, or plug your commands into a prompt, and then you let the AI program that you use generate the music for you. You didn't create anything. You didn't write anything. You didn't do any work of substance. You might have typed out your book maybe, but that's about it.
So let's get to the discussion. This handsome gentleman right here is named AtheistJr. He to debate me, and not
Correct, yes.
not only does he think that he wants to debate me, but he says that I can have other people involved.
Yes, because that's the handicap you need, because if you do it one-on-one, or if you're sitting in a room with your only people that aren't your friends, you're going to rage quit, or you're going to try to bull bait them into kicking you and then say you won. That's what you do.
As if I actually assistance. That is cute and also appreciated that he would put that out there. And I am the type of guy, when given opportunities like that where I can just bring anybody I want to the party, I'm I'm not going to hold off on it. I'm not narcissistic.
Yes, you absolutely are. And yes, we know that you're not averse to bringing your butt buddies in to argue for you and make your claims for you.
Like some atheists I know out there.
Who? Tell me who.
So what is going to happen here is I accept your challenge. Let's get right to it. That way you don't have to sit through however long it takes for me to finish up this video. I accept the challenge, but the stipulation is simple.
See, here we go already. So you don't have to sit through the whole video, but I accept it, so you don't have to watch the rest of this video, dude. And then he goes on to list stipulations and other insults and derogatory comments about this person.
I do not want to host the show on my channel.
Right, because you're going to delete it whenever you, decide to delete your channel for the 15th time in, I don't know, what has it been, 3 years?
And the reason why is because you've actually done this to me in the past, where you say that you want to debate or have a discussion. I open the room, you either don't show up, or you
open the room and you say, "Hey, he's welcome to come in and do the debate," and then he's busy doing something else or whatever. I don't know, but he's not showing any evidence of this, so it doesn't matter.
simply say people have ran from you. So with that being the case, if TTOR and Stephen Proverbs ministry is up to the task, they can work out the time and day with you. I'm free for a little while, so...
Oh, no, you're always free, and you always have free time. There is no such thing as I'm busy for Brett Keane. It's, he's chronically online, and he doesn't have any kind of actual job to be doing. So this is what he does instead, and pretends to be busy on quote-unquote YouTube making drama videos.
It's pretty much open. If they want to open something at 9 or 8 p.m. sometime this week or next week, whatever the case, they'll set the appointment. But they're the ones that you need to interact with. I've interacted with you through emails before, and you are paranoid, you have anxiety, and you get really touchy very quickly.
Here's a translation for you. You call me out on my bullshit and my obfuscations of clearly directed cases and points and arguments, and so I can't respond to them. I get so flustered, so I'm just going to say that you're a paranoid, delusional, psychosis freak, and you're poison the well for the audience who's going to be watching, so they don't know, they're not going to check on me on this, so they're just going to believe what I say about you, and they're going to think you're a psychopath or something. Shut up, dude. Shut up.
And I've also discovered that you don't seem to understand my dry humor. I can't crack.
You don't have a sense of humor. You don't at all. The sense of humor you do have is completely revolving around yourself, and you don't actually take humor to any jabs thrown at you, whether they be in pure jest or playfulness or teasing, right? You don't understand that. All you understand is your own sense of humor, and it comes off as snarky, mean, rude, and crude. It's not dry and wry humor. It's just unfunny, and it's monotonous, and it's unlistenable. And you don't have a sense of humor. You can't take a joke. as evidenced by your previous, interactions with people over the years.
Jokes with you without you completely tripping and having a bowel movement. So
I can't say anything mean or derogatory without you responding to me and making like dude stop dude stop.
I will let them deal with you. They seem to have had more success at being able to, I don't know, communicate is where I can't. I don't.
No, you can't. You can't communicate with people at all. You divert from things. You pivot away from things. You bring up nonsensical red herrings. When people ask you direct things like, "Oh, do you know this person?" or on my video channel, like, no, like, dude, just answer the question. That's all you got to do. Just answer the topic. But that escapes you, and you can't communicate at all. That's why you're not any more popular than when you were 10 years ago.
Know what that is. I don't think it's a limitation on my part, but I want them to deal with it. I don't want to go back and forth in emails and have these like paranoid anxiety attacks or panic attacks.
He's a paranoid, manic depressive. He's just mentally ill. Like, really, really, dude. Why don't you show the emails? Oh, but you won't, because you know that they're not gonna paint the picture that you want to paint here.
You have whenever we're actually confronting each other. Of course, there's nothing I can do for you if you actually do show up to the live podcast. So I want TTOR and Steven with Proverbs to set it up. Now, the reason why I hope they don't feel like I'm putting it on them, but I haven't been doing shows over on my channel. I will be more than happy to put whatever is done up on the radio, but I would prefer that TTOR and Steven, whatever you want to broadcast through, at some point in time to broadcast. I know I can rip the show off and put it on the radio or my Steven or TTOR. But pick your favorite tune, though.
Here was the interesting part, where he demands that at least one song from his quote unquote CD. It's a 20 video album that he has on his channel right now. He's going to demand that you put up the TTOR or a Proverbs guy puts a copyrighted song of his before the debate. Right, that's his demand. Right, so I'm going to go into this in a second.
And this is for Steven, and I will do it. But that's what is required. And I do feel like it, but depends on how it goes. So if you guys are up for it, I will do it. But that's what is required. Feel like it, but depends on how it goes. At some point in time to broadcast in those that are copyrighted, that is on the front though.
Here it is.
And this is for Steven and TTOR, not AtheistJr. But I want one of my songs that are copyrighted that is on the front of the channel, one of the 20 you can choose, like you did last time, Steven.
So here is a very stark warning, and I'm saying this in the best of faith. I know you don't really know who Brett is. I know neither of you really know who Brett is. I think TTOR might. But Proverbs guys, this is a warning for you, especially. If you put one of Brett's songs on your channel that he says is copyrighted, right? Whenever, in say a few months, whenever he decides I'm gonna take down all the BS about me, right? If this debate doesn't go the way that he wants, that Brett wants, what he's gonna do is if he ever gets into a drama war with you, which he inevitably will, he'll have a fallout with you, and he's gonna make a bunch of attack videos on you using whatever you brought to him in confidence. He's gonna air those out, right? And this debate that you're gonna have right here, where he demands that you use a copyrighted song of his, he's gonna strike that down in a DMCA, so it can't be viewed by people, and he can't, or that other people can't go back and look at the public record of it. That's what he's doing here, and I'm just giving you a warning right now. This is what's gonna happen. Let's carry on.
TTOR. Pick your favorite tune, and if you both have conflict over which one you like the best, you can play two of them. I don't care. one for TTOR community page, the image of the conversation that was put in text. One, you said you didn't mind how many people were there, Junior. That was you. You didn't say one-on-one. You said anybody you want to bring along.
Anybody can go read his comment, and you already posted it, and so you don't need to really go over it here. So, okay, whatever.
Cool, fine. Number two, you said that you wanted to debate and defend evolution. So this is basically, if you are in defense mode doing this, this is going to be me asking you questions. And
yeah, a debate means that you go back and forth with the arguments about the topic, not just him, not just AtheistJr on trial defending evolution, right? And but Brett's going to go into this, and it's hilarious. Like I kind of mentioned earlier, he's going to straw man the entirety of evolution and kind of make it like, oh, this is just a moot point at this juncture. This is just a moot point. Like, no, it's not, and you didn't address anything at all of substance. So let's carry on.
throwing out the points that I have issue with, and then allowing you however much time you require. This isn't standing for truth, so you're not going to be timed. If you feel that you need to babble on.
What does standing for truth mean? That this isn't standing for truth? A debate is a competition of rhetoric, and the best rhetoric has I would say, the most truth. So what are you talking about? Like, is that a channel or something? Did I miss something? Like, what does that mean?
20 minutes, I suppose, in order to explain or justify why it is that you believe that you are a monkey.
Here, immediate straw man, and he has to poison the well again with, I want to babble on about it. Like, no, you're accepting this challenge, and I think you owe him the respect that he deserves, insofar as you listen to what he has to say. But you're going to admit that you're not going to listen to it later on in this video, so just give me a second.
Or part monkey, or hybrid monkey, or rodent, or fish.
That's not how evolution works at all. That's not how speciation works. That's not how common ancestry works. But Brett's already been shown this information years ago, and but he still doesn't understand it. He doesn't want to understand it. He's just doing this to grandstand, and he's doing this as a way to say, I've debated evolution. No, you didn't debate it. You just bullshitted your way through it, and now you think you've made a point somehow. You haven't. You haven't addressed this topic at all. This is a complete straw man, and you're categorically false, or you're categorically wrong on this issue. Like right here, you've already admitted that you've lost because you have no idea what you're talking about.
That's up to you. I am more than happy to sit back, drink my coffee, listen to the final countdown by the band Europe, and
You're an atheist.
also with my other ear allow whatever noise that is coming out of your face to hit it, and then respond to you after.
See, right here, bad faith, completely disengaged, admits that he's not going to debate you in any fair or, respectful way, right? He's not going to actually address what you say. He's just going to let you talk. He's going to listen to some music and slurp on some coffee through his toothless mouth. And he's just going to prattle on after you're done talking. He's going to wait for you to stop talking, and then he's going to go on the list that he pulled from some Christian apologetics website that he probably or maybe his own that he makes, and he's going to plagiarize from. But either way, this is him demonstrably telling you that he's not going to debate you in any reasonable fashion, and this is ultimately a waste of time for AtheistJr.
You're done doing whatever you're doing. I know you're probably not going to answer my question on this, but I would like to know, we both know you're not a scientist, and I'm not claiming to be a scientist.
Exactly, and that's why you completely straw man the argument before it's even been made to you, and you have no idea what you're talking about. But this is kind of redundant at this point. We know you're not a professional, Brett. We know that the people you generally debate aren't scientists either, even though you've been invited to talk to John Francois Garapi, or Gary Epi about evolution, but he even said that you weren't worth his time. He doesn't care about you, and you're not a threat to anybody. So, but that guy that I just mentioned, he's an actual biologist who studies evolutionary biologist, right? And he actually studied this, and you wouldn't stand a snowflake's chance in hell.
Why does it matter to you? Why do you want so badly to appeal to people this idea that we come from monkeys?
Isn't the idea at all, again, straw man, and you have no idea what you're talking about. So, when we talk about evolution, right, means that whenever organs came from monkeys and fish, no, it means you share a common ancestor, and you have, what is it, like upwards of 90% of retroviral DNA shared with, it's not monkeys, it's chimpanzees, I believe. And you can trace the genetic ancestry all the way back to transitional species and transitional fossils that kind of, prove that it's an actual legitimate theory with evidence behind it, whereas you're going to sit there and say, oh, Magic Sky Daddy did it. He did it because he did it. And, where does it come from? Well, you can't know where this came from. Where did it come from? Well, I know that only reasonable people, God did it. So that's your whole argument right there, Brett.
And then before that, rodents and iguanas and fish and all this crap for it. Why is that even important?
Oh, it's important because you want to say that you're this big debater and that you're this intellectualist, and you actually have reasons, or you have a solid worldview, which, one, you're not, and two, you don't, right? You don't know what you're talking about. You're not an intellectualist. You're a sophist. You're a sophist, right? You purport sophistry, right? And you just degrade arguments down to their smallest points and say, well, like you're a severe reductionist. Case in point, and this is only evidence of that. So,
I mean, it really seems to tear you up in the asshole whenever you hear Kent Hovind talk.
oh, Ken Hovind, the guy that you said that, or that you put in a video thumbnail that was a pedophile a couple of years ago, with all that big drama with Pat Condell, or no, it wasn't Pat Condell, it was Matt Powell. Give me 1 second here. Here we go. So, this was, when was this dated? This was January 29th of 2023. And the guy that you say that you destroyed, right, here, back in that big old BS drama that you had with him regarding whatever the hell happened. I don't know, but anyway. So Matt Powell actually called you out on this, and it's hilarious to me that you have no cognizance of this whatsoever. You think that everything can just be deleted in history's multiple choice. So Matt Powell here even said, hey, Brett, every single year you go through this. It's just a cycle that I've seen several times, and you know something, it's destroying your testimony. And Brett haphazardly shoots off a response like, oh, well, you haven't seen kids die, Brett. You might have seen it online, I don't know, so there's some gore sites or whatever, but you haven't actually seen kids die in person, so whatever. You won't be so full of yourself if it goes into real pain. Like what? Like what real pain have you gone through, Brett? So he doesn't trust Matt Powell anymore, or maybe Matt Powell was smart enough not to stick around with this guy. But anyway, oh, by the way, this is Brett's face from 2 years ago. This is 2023, yep. So from 2 years ago, this is Brett's face, right? This is the guy that he wants you to believe that he is. He wants you to believe that he's skinny or he's well built, and He's all nice and muscular in tone. No, he's not. He's this guy right here. Anyway, moving on.
I mean, it really gets you so bothered that you've dedicated an entire channel to him. Why?
You dedicated at least 2 or 3 videos back in that time to Matt Powell and Ken Hovind, and it's kind of laughable that you would even bring this up. So anyway,
why does this matter so much to you? Was your father a scientist and he got like battered to death by a group of monkeys or something? What happened that makes you even care what people think about evolution?
because you still talk about it and you think you know what you're talking about, and you say that you can debate. That's why. And it's a challenge that's been issued to you. And if you really want to demonstrate that you know what you're talking about, you would take a debate in good faith and not this well-poisoning garbage that you're putting out online.
Just curious. All right. So with that being said, yeah, okay. As long as TTOR and Steve set it up, I'm good to go. I'm fine. Just need a day at a time. Well, Steven, you are a little rough on reminding me of days and times, so make sure you and TTOR put your head together and figure it out. And I know you guys won't have a problem with it. You guys like doing live shows.
Hey, you stupid idiots. You guys need to get it fucking straightened out and do all my work for me and get a calendar straight for me. Just do my bidding. Like they're your secretaries or something. Give me a break, dude. You're so pathetic.
As you like it. You know, it'll get some views. Junior does this most likely for views as well. So, you know, you got Brett Keane yapping. You got some guy over here.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. You got Brett Keane flabbing his gums about shit he doesn't understand. Now, I'll address one more thing. We're done with this video, by the way. We're going to address one more thing, and I'm going to hop off here. So, Brett, my challenge to you still stands, and it's still valid. So, this challenge here, right? This challenge here. Topic is got a moral, and it's going to be on a neutral ground channel wherein you can't kick people out or have leeway from moderators, right? I'm going to actually construct an argument. I'm going to do some prep. You're going to do some prep, and there's going to be agreed upon times when we meet, right? And it's going to be what generally about hour and a half or so. No, like a full round of debate, probably about an hour and a half, including Q&A. But that's going to be agreed upon how much time we have per section. And it's going to be about, is God immoral? Yes or no? And again, this is going to be corrected. You're going to be the negative, which is going to be no. And I'm going to be the affirmative, which is yes, that God is immoral. But if you don't want to do that, that's fine. I know you know, if you can't control every single aspect of the debate, then you're not going to do it. I know you're a coward, right? And you won't accept it. So don't worry about it. Either way, I just wanted to kind of prove a point that you are not the intellectual that you claim to be, and you're a fraud, and your music's not real. So anyway, I'll catch you later.